After a series of disastrous missions, it's time to hit reset on my career mode. First, my aircraft collided, maybe with a building or a phantom collision box, who knows. Then, during taxiing, my plane sank into the terrain, racking up repair costs. And the final straw, the sim spawned me on a helipad for a mission with an aircraft. Taking off was impossible. And to make things worse, my reputation plummeted to a D. If you've played career mode, you know what that means: fewer jobs, lower payouts, and a much steeper climb back to success. So it's time for a fresh start, but with a smarter plan to rebuild both my bank account and my reputation. My first run at career mode was all about chasing certifications and endorsements, trying to unlock everything as quickly as possible. The problem? That strategy drained my finances, forcing me into a grind to stay afloat. On top of that, a series of unfortunate events left me with a terrible reputation, which only makes things worse. This time, I'm doing things differently. The goal is simple: earn my commercial pilot license, my CPL. Instead of wasting money on unnecessary certifications, I'll focus on building my bank account to $40,000 and start a cargo shipping business. Why cargo? It's more lucrative than flight scene tours, which rely on smaller profit margins. But the first step is finding the perfect starting point. Halifax International Airport is off limits. It's an international airport. Instead, I'm starting at Bridgewater Airport, a small regional airport nearby. Why Bridgewater? I've brought over my local airport sceneries from MSFS 2020 by Sim add-ons, which adds a lot of immersion to flying around this area. Not every airport or airstrip in the region is covered by Sim add-ons, but that's what makes this interesting. It gives me a real purpose to flying locally while working towards my long-term goals. If you've ever wanted to start fresh, here's how to reset career mode. It's straightforward. Head to your profile menu by clicking on your gamer tag at the top. In my case, it's Sizzling P. Click the reset button and confirm your choice. Just remember, this will erase your progress and reputation, giving you a completely clean slate. Now that we've reset, it's time to start rebuilding. Bridgewater Airport will be our base of operation, and the first step is earning my private pilot license. From there, we'll take on our first mission, building up both our finances and reputation one flight at a time.
Right now comes the fun part.
Our first mission in career mode is the Discovery Flight, a traffic pattern around the airport with rudder assistance from our instructor. This flight went so much smoother than my first attempt at career mode, and I'll tell you why. During my first run, I was fighting my controls the entire time. It turns out my PS4 controller had some signal noise, causing erratic yoke behavior. Every flight felt choppy and unpredictable. Now that the issue is fixed, flying is so much smoother, and honestly, a lot more enjoyable. Mission success. While I can't earn any money just yet, completing this discovery flight earned me valuable XP. In career mode, XP is what helps you level up, unlock aircraft for purchase, and earn specializations. Now it's time to take the next big step, earning my PPL, my private pilot license. This brings me one step closer to making money with my commercial pilot license. Let's do this.
It's time. Your first ever check ride. Start by removing the covers and chocks, then join me inside.
Alright, gonna want to remove the chocks, engine cover, static port cover, a pitot cover, and the chocks right here. Now we can start up the engine.
Your goal is to complete a left-hand traffic pattern, respecting the flight path and all required speeds. Rely on what you've learned in your trainings, and you'll be fine. Now, show me the best traffic pattern that you've got.
Gonna put the strobe, nav, taxi lights, and the beacon. And then we're gonna announce our taxi.
Charlie Delta Yankee 6 Traffic Sizzle Victor, Mike Papa 7010 is taxiing to runway Tree.
Gonna release the brakes.
Charlie Delta Yankee 6 traffic sizzle Victor, Mike Papa 7010, taking off runway tree left closed traffic.
So we're going to take a right turn here. And as you can see, we're going to runway 33. You don't want to speed while you're taxiing, but you see we're going 145 degrees. Runway 33 is actually going to be roughly 333. So you know right away that you're going to have to turn around. Even before they tell you that you have to turn around, that's one thing to know. Runway is always in the heading of where you're taking off or landing. All right, so now we're gonna do a U-turn. It's very tight here, but we can do it. Come on. All right, and before we take off, we're gonna want to put just one notch of flaps. Line ourselves up. And let's go. Full throttle. All right, take off. Again, with this airport, I've got to climb a little higher just because they cleared the trees. Then we can retract the flaps. All right, now we can go to the crosswind end. And for now, because I don't own the aircraft, you actually don't have to worry about engine performance. But when you do own your own aircraft, you're going to want to watch out that you're not putting it full throttle the whole time. Oh, we got to climb up to 1100. Because what will happen is if you're abusing your aircraft, you're going to have to pay for repairs over time. And you never want to forget to announce your position or ATC. You can always open up your communications just to see if there's anything
Charlie
additional.
Delta Yankee 6 traffic sizzle Victor, Mike Papa 70101 miles south 1,300 feet inbound to land runway tree.
Because sometimes you can pass by an airport or you're crossing into another airspace and you have to talk to ATC. Wow, way too high.
Charlie Delta Yankee 6 traffic Sizzle Victor Mike Papa 7010 is on final runway tree to land.
Yeah, don't do this at home. Made it. We'll see what the results are here. Retract the flaps. Turn around. Again, you don't want to speed while taxiing, because you'll get docked. In this case, it's not going to be money because we're doing a certification. All right, we can put in. Now it's taxi to parking.
Charlie Delta Yankee 6 traffic Sizzle Victor Mike Papa 7010 is taxiing to parking.
All right, put the parking brake on. And then our shutdown.
Congratulations. You're on your way to become one hell of a pilot.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Respect the traffic pattern, 93. Oh, that's for the altitude. Respect traffic pattern path, 100%. Respect the taxi path, 93%. Plane handling, 88%. And did actually, with all the certifications, there is no S rating, but in the missions, you can get an S, which stands for sizzling popcorn, like me. But actually, no, S is like superb or something. It's even better than A. So really, you don't have to worry about how many points you got, because all you got to do is pass it. The rest doesn't affect you. Congratulations. So now this allows you to fly a single engine airplane in good weather conditions and perform takeoffs and landings from land. Private pilots cannot fly aircraft for commercial purposes. So we're not going to be making any money really until we get that CPL, the commercial pilot license. Let's click on next. So we can't fly these yet, but down the road we'll be able to buy them and fly them in our company or for other missions.
Congratulations on passing your PPL exam. Hopefully that's the first of many steps on your career path. Your PPL allows you to fly recreationally and begin to build up your flight hours. First flight missions are a great way to increase your experience. Let's go back to headquarters and review the specializations board to learn more. As you can see, the career journey of a pilot can take many different paths. As I said earlier, your PPL is the first step, allowing you to fly recreationally and perform first flight missions, taking people on tours around the local area. As you build up your flight hours and earn more certifications, other specializations will become available. Take a look around, then when you're ready, head to the missions list to see what's available.
So first flight, that's pretty much giving someone a discovery flight, or actually their first flight in any aircraft. But you've got other ones here: ferry flights, flight seeing, skydiving, cargo, aerial advertising, search and rescue, more cargo, aerial firefighting, medevac, agriculture, charter services for VIPs, passenger transport airline, cargo transport, heavy and super heavy. That's like when you're getting up to the top. But each one will tell you the prerequisites to get that. And these are specializations, not certifications. So these will open up new missions. And this is on the rotorcraft side. So they've got very similar: your passenger transport, flight seeing, search and rescue, cargo transport, agricultural, and aerial construction. So now we can go into missions.
On this map, you can see all the missions currently available to you. There's one mission currently available. Select it now.
So when you get a new specialization, there's always going to be a gold mission. You have to do that gold mission first, then it opens up more missions on the map. And as you progress in your career, the places that you're going to see on the map are just going to expand, because here we're doing a first flight, but when you do a ferry flight, I think that's once we get the CPL, the commercial pilot license, we'll then go over to Europe. That'll open up ferry flights, so where you're ferrying an aircraft back to its owner. So let's go do this one. So we're going to be flying Julie Tremblay in and around the Lunenburg area. So you can see here, you can always go into free cam and then zoom into the flight plan. But we're going to be taking off from Bridgewater, going into Lunenburg. If you don't know, on the Canadian dime, you got the Blue Nose 2. Well, the Blue Nose 2, that's where it's from. It's from Lunenburg. So we're going to accept the mission. And then here, you would have your credits right here, how much you're going to get paid. But because we don't have our commercial pilot license, we're not getting paid, but we'll be looking to build up our experience points and our experience levels. So mission criteria here, in order to maximize our experience points, we're going to be looking at our sightseeing quality, flight smoothness, and landing smoothness. Let's go fly. And this can get quite repetitive, but like in real life, they got to do this. So if you want to do a career mode, you're going to have to do it. You can skip, like here you can skip to taxi. You can skip to different the different parts, different phases of the flight. But if you do find that you're in an area, this here should be fine. But let's say there was like a crack right here, just like a bug in the terrain. I would actually skip it and go to the taxiing. That way you're not you're not crashing, because crashes are on when you're in career mode. You can't turn crashes off. So that's a good place to skip ahead. And then if you're in cruise, even if you're on autopilot, you still need to fly, because if you don't, you can skip ahead, but your payday down the road when you start getting paid will be significantly reduced because you didn't do the flight yourself. All right, we're gonna go inside. Request a boarding.
Send the guests.
And then we're gonna start her up.
Looks like a perfect day for flying, Captain. For today's flight, you're taking Julie, one of our friends, and her sister over Lunenburg. If the seatbelts are fastened, you're ready for takeoff. Let's do it.
And as I'm doing this, I realize I didn't have the lights, the landing lights for takeoff. It's not a big deal at this point, but down the road, there are flights that you're going to get docked for not having your landing lights or your taxi lights on at the right time. So we're going to announce a taxi.
Charlie Delta Yankee 6 traffic, Sizzle India Papa India 1310 is taxiing to runway 15.
Nice to meet you, Captain.
Oh, nice
I'm
to meet you
Julie.
too.
Never had the chance to fly over Lunenburg before, and I'm thrilled, so I'm counting on you to show me lots of cool stuff around my place. Nice to meet you. I'm Diane. I'm hanging out with Julie for this flight. Pretty exciting.
Nice. Yeah, I know, it's pretty exciting. Oh, wow. It's pretty exciting. All right. I guess we're going all the way over there.
Charlie Delta Yankee 6 traffic, Sizzle India Papa India 1310, taking off runway 15 departure to the east.
And again, you can see here 15. We're turning, and we're going to pretty much to the west, but we're turning around, and then that's going to be runway 15. And when you're talking to ATC, it would be runway 15 rather than runway 15. Gonna get some flaps, and we'll get our landing lights on. So we don't need that.
This sensation is fantastic.
So we're climbing up to 650. It is a little gusty. I don't know if you noticed the wind socket, but yeah, because the wind is coming from the northeast. So we're now gonna go fly around Lunenburg. And for like missions like this, I wouldn't even use autopilot. You do want to stick within the brackets. I know some people, they're like, oh no. I think it depends on the mission type. Because, you know, like skydiving, actually, you don't need to go through the brackets.
Relax, Julie. You're gripping the seat so hard you're going to break your hand.
But definitely when you're coming down from a skydiving mission, you don't want to follow the brackets because you're trying to get down to the airport as soon as possible. Gonna try to use a little bit of trim.
Ryan was right. I don't feel afraid or dizzy.
And yeah, the reason why I don't use autopilot on these short flights, it's just because it's too short. If you're doing like an hour flight and it's like, you know, you've got like half hour, 45 minutes of cruising, yeah, sure, go into autopilot. Another thing is some people will tell you, hey, you can use sim rate. So sim rate is, you're still gonna go like 105
It's so
knot.
quiet up here. So peaceful.
But the simulator is going to ramp up its speed by 2x, 3x, or 4x. So to get to Lunenburg, if it's 4 nautical miles, you know, I'm gonna get there 4 times faster by doing the 4x simulation. But the thing is when you get into more complex missions and you have to make ATC calls, you could miss out on those.
I see Lunenburg.
So
We've
the
got
way
a clear view of everything from here. I love it.
the way
It's
I look at it,
amazing. I
is
recognize everything down there.
you're in career mode to mimic the life of a pilot. And what does a pilot do? Well, probably half their time is on autopilot anyways. Okay, so we gotta slow down. And down to 87. You can use a notch of flaps if you want.
I'm going to get whiplash trying to look at everything.
Oh, stop the complaining. There's Lunenburg.
That's my place. If I were
No
home, I
way.
could wave to myself.
Wow.
Are you sure? Too bad. I think I missed it.
I'm so happy we're sharing this moment together. It's making me
Oh,
feel
yeah.
so nostalgic.
I'm glad we're sharing this moment too. By the way, if you are liking this video, make sure to smash that like button.
Look! The world's at our feet.
Wow, that's my house.
The folks on the ground have no idea what they're missing.
All right, retract the flap and let's go full speed.
Charlie Delta Yankee 6 traffic, Sizzle in India, Papa India, 13106 miles, east 1,100 feet inbound to land, runway 15.
But yeah, Lunenburg is actually a nice place. It's like small town, fishing town.
Even the light seems different up here.
Good seafood. Like lots of lobster fishermen around the area. You can buy it fresh. I still remember being in LA at Bubba Gump shrimp place, and I ordered Atlantic lobster. I said, "Hey, where does this come from? Does this come from Halifax? Does this come from Nova Scotia?" Because it was Atlantic lobster. I'm like, I'm paying an arm and a leg here in LA for lobster that I can get a lot cheaper back home, and it's coming from back home. All right, downwind
Back
entry.
to the airport already, guys. So, Julie, you want to fly again?
What a thrill! I absolutely love the view flying over Lunenburg. Ready to head out again whenever you are.
Quite an experience. I recommend it.
And if you're unsure of when to use the flaps, your flap zone is actually where you see the 83, the speed. It's in green, but now we're in the white. This is where you can start using flaps. But it's not always accurate, especially in career mode at the moment, because sometimes you can open up the flaps and it's telling you that you've opened them up way too soon. Let's extend some flaps, because as you saw last time, I was too high for the landing. I'll try to do a little bit better this time around. On to final.
Charlie Delta Yankee 6 traffic sizzle in India Papa India 1310 is on final runway 15 to land.
This is a tough spot, because we're like already almost halfway across the runway. And you don't want to jam it onto the ground.
Just like a roller coaster.
Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen. Uh-oh. Now we're taxi speeding? Come on. Now we're stuck. Shoot. Can we get a pushback? This might not have been the best place to start off with, but when it comes to building a company, I don't think we're going to be building a company here, because These trees are way too, like, they're pretty close to the runway here. Mission steps. We gotta stop at the parking stand, but I can't back up. And my wing's caught in this tree, so we're gonna do a Alt-N in this case. I don't know how much it's gonna dock us, but let's do it. All right, we can shut her down. All right, so sightseeing quality 85, flight smoothness 100, landing smoothness 58. And then aviator performances, so we had the 1 radio miscommunication, 1 taxi speeding, and 1 runway excursion on landing. So that was 1 wheel off on the landing. But yeah, so we didn't get the sizzling popcorn rating, but hey, we still got tons of experience points here. Let's go to next. Reputation. So we've gained some reputation. This gets like it's gonna get you missions with higher paying missions. Really, the first time that I did career mode, I had gotten up to maybe an A, but then with the errors that were happening, the bugs within career mode, I dropped I think to like a D. And yeah, so then you start getting paid less, and especially when you own a company, you want to have a good reputation. So let's go click on next. And what I'm hoping is that we've got patch number 3 coming out next week. I hope with that patch, some of the bug fixes will be for the career mode and like some of the terrain stuff. But not just that, some of the docking of marks for different things that it's not our fault. It's more so a bug in the sim. So we're up to level 2.
Completing your first mission. Continue building your flight hours by completing more missions, and you'll be ready to move on to your CPL in no time.
All right, so to do the CPL exam, we have to perform first flight airplane missions, 2 of them. So what we'll do is I'm gonna go do another flight, and then we will come back to do the PPL. Our next mission was to take a local resident on a scenic flight over Kentville, Nova Scotia, a prerequisite for earning my CPL. But things didn't start off smoothly. I ran into some unexpected issues connecting with ATC. Neither the quick reply button on my Turtle Beach flight deck stick nor the enter key on the keyboard worked, leaving me unable to make my calls. In hindsight, I should have opened up my communication box. That would have let me select responses manually and stay in touch with ATC. Lesson learned for the next time. As I lined up on the runway, I spotted 2 raccoons casually crossing right in front of me. Talk about a surprise. Naturally, I had to snap a photo before continuing. Once we were airborne, the flight over Kentville was stunning.
The view from up here
I've been there many times on the ground, but seeing it from the air gave me a whole new appreciation for the area. Specifically seeing the Cornwallis River coming from the Minas Basin. That was really nice. After circling Kentville, it was time to head back. I was able to navigate safely to the airport and make a smooth landing, completing the mission. That's 2 successful first flight missions down and 1 step closer to earning my CPL. With that, I'm officially ready to take on my CPL exam, but how smoothly will it go? Let's find out. The commercial pilot license exam is the gateway to unlocking lucrative missions. It has you taking off from Van Nuys in California for a little short flight to Bob Hope Burbank Airport. As I lined up for landing at Burbank Airport, everything seemed to be going smoothly. The touchdown was clean, but as I slowed down, I realized I'd missed my turnoff to the taxiway. Now the question is, will that mistake impact my score and stop me from earning my CPL? Find out in the next episode as we see if this tiny error cost me big time. If you've been enjoying this career mode journey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next episode. And tell me in the comments, what's the most scenic flight you've done in Microsoft Flight Simulator? I'd love to hear about it. And I'll see you in this next video.